Everybody, Chris the Clutter Reduction Junk Removal. So, the dump trailer we had gotten back in December, we have not used it yet. I actually didn't put insurance on it until January 1st because it was just sitting in my driveway and we were doing work to it. So, now it is officially like activated, ready to be used, but there's a problem. We still didn't do anything with the ramps. And I know dump trailer, you don't need ramps anymore. I wanted ramps because I don't want it to be only a debris and trash related trailer, because I don't want to have to worry about like, oh, I need my other trailer for this specific like job. I need to go back home and get it and come back. I want to have the option to be able to load it up a ramp if I need to. And for me, that was a big deal because we like to utilize our dollies like a mover, and I want to be able to bring stuff up without just chucking it in, because not everything is trash. We do a lot of donation. Every now and then we do resell. So I want to avoid those things. Now, the ramps that came with the dump trailer are heavy as hell. I think they were like 81 pounds a piece. It sucked. And it was really hard to slide out. And it was really hard to like set up in place. So what we ended up doing instead was I got these on Amazon. I think they're like $116 plus tax. These are like 9 pounds a piece. Way lighter. Like, that's nothing. My brother went ahead and put this little crossbar up here because on the dump trailer, there's a little gap where the piece would sit inside so it doesn't slip out on you. I'll show you on this one. So you can see up here how there's that little crossbar. He basically just mimicked that with the size and everything. So the only difference between those and this is they're not going to be as heavy set. So I don't think it'll be a problem because all we're doing is loading it up with dollies. It's not like we're trying to drive an ATV up it or something. And I'm still keeping these in case we ever need them. So the game plan today, because we have like 2 hours before we have to leave for our job, is these were custom cut to size to fit these specifically. Now you can see it goes up a little high here. The reason why is because it's going to go a little farther down at the edge, because when it's sitting on the trailer, we want the aluminum to get as close to the floor as possible, which means it has to extend this. So that way we don't have a gap with the dollies. We're trying to mimic that because even like on this trailer, when this ramp is down, there's a gap like this. Now, with most pieces on dollies, you can kind of push down on the piece and lift it real quick to get it up. That's what we do like with the pianos and stuff that are heavier, or the speed packs when they're full of crap. With the hand truck, it's no problem. So when it comes to this, I don't want to run into the same problem. And that's why we did that. So you'll see once I fasten it, it's going to be lined up pretty much with the edge of this. And then I'm going to use carriage bolts with washers and attach it to the crossbars. To that, we're going to be adding anti-slip tape to the whole thing. I got 4 of these. This should be enough. We're going to be pretty much covering this whole thing. This whole thing is going to be anti-slip tape. There's not going to be gaps in it like we have with our trailer. So I did the same thing on here. Obviously it's worn down a bit, but you can see my curb ramp. I mean, I did my curb ramp like 3 years ago and that's still holding up pretty well. So we're going to do the same concept, because the one thing with aluminum is when it gets wet, it is very slippery. It's already slippery just as is. Like your foot will slide on it with no problem. So I don't want to bust my ass going out my dump trailer. All right, so using this one as a reference, and then here's the underbelly. So what I'm basically just gonna do is mark it where it is so I know where to drill a hole at, and then that's what it'll look like on top. So this will be down like that. This is the top where it's gonna be on the trailer, so it's not like this is ever gonna be a problem. You're basically gonna come up, go down, and then as you can see, it sticks out just a little. So when it's down on a slope, this will be closer to the ground than this would be. And my brother measured it, he knows all that angle stuff. So it should be pretty close to the ground based on what we measured with the trailer. And then I'm gonna be using like 1-inch carriage bolts with thick washers on both sides. So it gets around the hole size. The perks of junk removal, finding stuff to eventually use. I got this on a job in a garage like maybe 6 months ago. I remember the specific job because I was like, oh, I'll hang on to this, you never know. And this is what we have. Now, these are what I already have. I am a firm believer in trying to use what you already got before you go to buy more, because then you just keep buying more and more and more, and then you just end up with a bunch of crap that you never end up using, and it just takes up too much space. And as you can see, I already have a small garage. So We're gonna try to make do what we can. As long as the bolt doesn't exceed this coming out of here, I think it's okay, because then I don't have to worry about it getting caught on anything. Doesn't have to look pretty, doesn't have to look symmetrical, I don't care, as long as it works. Ramps are done. That is the thickness with the dolly, so it fits perfectly. I probably could have trimmed it up a little bit better around the nuts, but I may want to change them out in the future to get something a little flatter, just so it's not so imperative when this wants to hit it. So I'd try to leave those somewhat accessible. Otherwise, I think overall it came out pretty good. I was very surprised. I almost got it all done in one roll. I came up like 4 inches short, so I had to break into the new roll, but I could return these guys because they're like $17 each. I might keep one actually. Well, I'll probably use the extra. I'm gonna redo my trailer ramp and my curb ramp. But overall, I think it came out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think.